sadness could turn into happiness. Blood flows along with tears. The world is only wonderful with the sorrow one experiences. I was kind of expecting that to rhyme, but... Welcome back to Will, a wonderful world. Let's figure out what the last time we recorded this was. Which I think was right about here. Where? Yeah, Changunin's S ending here is locked. Yeah, we met Jack. Jack is back. We've got this linked letter here. Before we do that... Yeah, I think we want to... Yeah, orange text. Which I assume comes from here. So we're actually going to go back here. Blackie was surprised by my spit. He then aimed a gun at me and pulled the trigger.
Meow?
Wait, why did he have a gun? Bang! How did he aim it at me? An enormous sound echoed across the lot. A few windows of the nearby neighborhood lit up. All of the cats were scared shitless. They were all paralyzed where they stood. The lot was suddenly filled with the filthy smell of urine. I left the lot and felt my own ears, realizing that one of them had a hole. Oh, Jesus. I thought to myself, perhaps I should go and get a gun, too. I took a shot and flung my tail out from my sleeve. The spear had cut through the air with a shimmer, aimed at Lieutenant Kang's right hand. It stopped right before the lieutenant. Lieutenant Kang's left hand clenched into a fist, and he slowly lowered it. He was holding my tail firmly in his hand, despite having been cut by the spear. Blood was dripping down from his wrist. Behind his fist, his eyes were staring at me with nothing but contempt. No one had been able to stop my tail with their bare hands before. At this point, I had no choice but to drop my weapon. Lieutenant Kang had finally seen his chance. He sprinted toward me, still holding my tail in his left hand, dried salted fish in his right hand. He raised the fish high up in the air and slapped it down in my face as if it was a hammer. After a loud and crisp slap, I fell to the ground with a fish-shaped mark on my face, and my consciousness began to drift away. I lost. Interesting. It feels like there might be alternate S's here, which... This is the normal S. If we flip this... Slam my tail on the pipe. Bang! It was my battle cry. To his credit, Blackie was indeed an experienced alpha. He only hesitated for an instant, and swung the dried salted fish and hit my face with it. This enormous piece of dried salted fish represented unquestionable authority. Whoever had the dried salted fish was the leader of the cats. 1 second. Sorry. Furthermore, whoever was attacked by the dried salted fish, which right now meant me, would be considered the public enemy of the entire cat clan. dozen of cats sprung at me, biting my ears, clawing my paws, stepping on my back. And instead of saying, 2 fists were no match for 4 hands. I was facing 40 claws. Ouch, ouch, ouchie! Bad. My spit flew into his eyes and temporarily blinded him. Thought he had the upper hand, Lieutenant King swiftly held up his right hand in my direction based on nothing but his hearing. He fired multiple shots in less than a second. Oh, dead. That is unfortunate. I feel like there has to be a normal ending I could have gotten. A gun? I had no idea where Blackie even got a gun from. I didn't believe that he had the guts to pull the trigger. I kept staring at Blackie, trying to scare him off. He was staring right back at me. And he didn't pull the trigger. The sun had come out. All the spectating cats had fallen asleep a long time ago. But Blackie was still staring at me. His eyes were wide open and he had tired, black bags around them. How could I tell that he had black bags around his eyes? I just could. Shut up. Finally, I gave up. I couldn't hold it in any longer. I needed to pee. This was a big country. I was sure that I could always find another big, empty pipe. An emptier, bigger, and better pipe, no less. Meow. Well, pee on him. Temper blinded him, thought he had the upper hand, and Kang swiftly held up his left hand based on nothing but hearing. I flung my tail toward him. He caught my tail, stopped by his bare hand, holding a spear. No one had been able to stop my tail with their bare hands before. Dropped my weapon, seek his chance. Slap. Knocked out by fish. Okay. Fairly certain that one of Spotty's Z. Well, Z ending didn't stop anything. I don't honestly know. What the I still think it's in here. Alright, that's gonna change this side. Dried salted fish flew out of his right hand, charging toward me like a flash of light. Wait, salted fish? They moved aside and dodged it. Now that you have missed your chance, it's my turn. I suddenly realized that my right hand was tangled up. I looked back and saw that something had pinned the ribbon of my tail to the wall. It was the dried salted fish that I had just dodged. He had done it on purpose. I was able to pin my ribbon with just a dried salted fish. What amazing power and accuracy he had. I hesitated for a split second, but I exposed myself. If I could turn back again, a shadow would fall over me. Then I felt a heavy punch. I lost. So. Oh, he raised the gun. I'm guessing this is the ending where we just fucking die. If I could even make a move, Lieutenant Kang seemed to have read my mind and moved 2 steps back. In a split second, I had been placed at a disadvantage. With the distance between us, my body still in its current position. His firearms actually absolutely gave him the upper hand. Just as I thought, Lieutenant Kang raised the gun in his right hand, pulled the trigger, and the bullet fled out the barrel in a puff of smoke. It was not that easy to kill. At this distance, I still had a chance to dodge the bullet. 0.03 of a second. At only 0.03 of a second. I flung my tail toward the bullet's trajectory, while also using the force to fall back. I should have a chance to dodge the bullet this way. If I were lucky, I could even hit the bullet and change its trajectory. In the end, I did manage to dodge the shot. The ribbon of my tail was ripped in half by the bullet. I caught the smile on Lieutenant Kang's face, then I realized he had done it on purpose. He'd be able to see through my plan, predict the trajectory of the tail, then hit the ribbon accurately. How frightening. I had no chance at all now that I had lost my weapon. After the second gunshot, I sunk into an infinite darkness, filled with nothing but regret. There was nothing I could have done. There was no match for him. Not the bad ending. Shockingly. Well, we'll leave it at that. Fairy of the cat. Wow, there's a lot of endings there. Right. Well, I guess we'll just leave that be for now. And do this. Adventure of a Big Brother. In this modern life, there isn't anything that can't be delivered right to the door. Yet despite this, there are still things that are beyond our control. For instance, the shipping fee. Where that to qualify for free shipping, you have to buy many small filler items, hoping that they'll be useful one day. With that, the tissues always run out sooner than expected. I always wrote down what I needed on my shopping list. Then, every Tuesday, I would use that list when I went shopping at the nearby supermarket. I'd usually go between supper and evening discount hours. This way I could avoid the afternoon rush hours, as well as the housewives who swarmed in for the discounted goods and be done within 30 minutes. However, it wasn't a good day to go out. The weather was extremely bad that night. As soon as I opened the door, a huge raindrop smacked my face like small pebbles. Thunder exploded as if it was right on top of my head. I opened my umbrella. It was such a stormy evening, I heard that spooky things might come out on a night like this. And just when I had finished the thought, "Big brother, could you come play with me?" I suddenly heard a childish voice near me. I was so startled that I stumbled one step back. I stopped and took a closer look. It was a young boy that I had never seen before. "Hey, kid, don't play outside in the rain like this. You should go home." I hurried past him without a further thought. Just recently I'd become the target of some malicious gossip. The mastermind behind it was an elementary school kid. As a result, I'd been feeling easily set off every time I saw these tiny, mischievous young children. However, something didn't feel right. 2 blocks later, a young girl jumped in front of me, holding a flowery umbrella, and said in a crisp voice, "Big brother, could you come play with me?" "Little girl, you really are cute." "But Big brother is not going to play with you." "Leave me alone, all you cute boys and cute girls. I am not in the mood." I held the umbrella lower and kept walking. However, I then mysteriously ran into several more children of similar ages, though all of them were wearing different clothes. Yet they all looked at me with an identical innocent smile and said exactly the same thing. It was so freaky. I was almost walking as fast as an Olympic race walker. Just a little further. Once I turned around that corner, I would be at the supermarket. Bump! I bumped right into someone, fell to the ground, and my umbrella slipped out of my hand. It wasn't a kid this time, but someone who was very skinny. I couldn't see anything but a dark figure. Whoa! Who is this? Thunder kept booming in the clouds. Suddenly a blinding bolt of lightning flashed across the sky and almost lit up the entire gray city. The person was covered from head to toe in dark clothes underneath a clear raincoat. Its face was mostly hidden behind a mask. I could only see a pair of ice-cold eyes that were glimmering from the flash of lightning. I felt a chill climb up my spine. "Big brother." A muffled voice came out from behind the mask. I couldn't tell whether it belonged to a woman or a man, but I knew it was the most terrifying voice I had ever heard. "Could you come play with me?" I climbed up off the ground, turned around and ran as fast as I could without even picking up the umbrella. And yet I heard footsteps following behind me with exactly the same pace as mine. And laughter. Who is that? Why are they chasing me? What does it want with me? Thoughts kept getting scarier and scarier in my head. I tried to shut them out and just kept running. No matter how fast I ran, or how far I ran, the footsteps and the laughter were still right behind me. My mother had always complained that I never exercised. She said if I ever ran into a bad guy, I would be dead because I would be running too slow. Mother, I promise I will never fail to listen to you ever again. My legs were getting heavier and heavier, and the footsteps behind me were getting closer and closer. Suddenly, my left hand was firmly grasped. I turned around in utter terror and gazed right back into those cold eyes once again. There was no way that those eyes could belong to a normal human being. The dark figure grabbed my wrist tightly with strength that was way too powerful for its skinny frame, then covered my nose and mouth with a damp cloth. Whoa! A tide of exhaustion suddenly washed over me. Everything went dark. I passed out. When I woke up, I realized that I couldn't move. Wait, why was I tied to a table with my arms and legs all spread out? And where had my clothes gone? What? Big brother. I heard his chilling voice right next to my ear. The masked person had a shiny scalpel in one of his hands this time. He kept brushing the back of the cold scalpel over my thigh. Oh, whoa. Oh my. In his other hand, he was holding the gossip newspaper that had a picture of my butt. Big brother, I heard that you like the little boy's lollipops. Oh. What the hell? I tried to protest, but my body felt as heavy as a piece of cast iron. The only sound I could make were some random noises. Actually, I like them too. What? I saw a silver reflection flash through the air. Oh. Oh my god. The pain was so intense that even my numb body couldn't ignore it. I looked like like a warm red liquid splashed all over my body. The only thought I had before I completely lost consciousness was, damn, I shouldn't have gone out. Jimmy. Holy fuck! Jimmy didn't... amazingly, after everything that I've said about Jimmy all this time, Jimmy didn't deserve that! There are plenty of people in this world that do deserve that, but in this case, not Jimmy. Oh, god damn it, you've got to be kidding me. Fuck! What the hell? Well, that was horrible. The mountain was called Shanglong Mountain. The name meant a mountain with two dragons. In weather like this, one could see the most beautiful rainbow on the mountain when the rain stopped. The rain was beating down on the bus window. It washed the view outside into a blur. The only thing recognizable was the blurry greenish mountain that was getting closer and closer. He's got cancer, stomach cancer, late stage. He's got cancer, stomach cancer, late stage. He's got cancer, stomach cancer, late stage. Miss Yang's words kept echoing in my head. Why didn't he tell me? Why would he just leave like this in secret? I thought that we were at least friends. Once again, I had been left all alone. At the foot of the mountain, the ranger told me that hiking had been temporarily suspended due to a high probability of mudslides. I managed to sneak past him when he wasn't paying attention. Only when. I was hiking up one step at a time along the very wet and slippery steps. My school uniform had gotten soaked inside and out. My shoes were covered in mud. I looked up and was maybe 100 meters away from the summit. No, it should be only 50 meters. A gust of wind at the mountaintop blew me off balance. I was blown over like a young, weak, and small tree. I rolled down the steps along with the mud and rocks. Ow. I tried to grab onto anything I could touch. The trees, the grass, but they all snapped. Oh shit. I was rolling down faster and faster. I felt myself leaving solid ground. I was flying. Oh, fuck! When I saw the valley beneath me. Oh, god damn! I pulled a pen out of my pocket and stabbed forward with it as hard as I could. What? A murky torrent of mud and rocks rushed down from the mountain. Mudslide! I somehow stuck the pen into the cracks among the rocks in the cliff. Really. The torrent was too powerful. I felt weightless. I had never done bungee jumping before. I imagined it would probably feel something like this. I was falling. I kept falling. For what it felt like an eternity, my body finally touched the ground. I feel something sticky coming out of my nose and my ears. Yeah, that's blood. It's time to die. It hurt so bad. So bad. I never thought that this would be the end of it. I didn't want it to end like this. There's so many things I hadn't told him yet. They went. Okay, let's... Really been out of it this video. Not on my will game right now. I apologize for that. After a second pause, let's see. I stuck the pen deep into his shoulder, but he showed no signs of pain at all. The crazed look in his eyes seemed to get even more intense. He looked extremely excited. I fell to the ground in terror. I was screwed. I turned into a real psychopath. A masked person covered my nose and mouth. Everything dark, passed out. We have to do this again. This is really out of nowhere. I felt weightless. I'd never done bungee jumping before. I imagined it would probably feel something like this. I was falling, kept falling. When it felt like an eternity, my body finally touched the ground. I feel something sticking out of my nose, my ears. It hurt so bad, so bad. Double bad. This is gonna be a big collection of bad endings. Okay, ooh. Oh, that did not change. Okay. Started on my palm and glued my hand tight with a pen that had just stuck in his shoulder. He showed no signs of pain at all. Who the hell was this person? He fell down in the mud. A torrent of mud and soil underneath swept us both down the cliff? The mud and soil kept splashing onto my face and into my nose. I'm beginning to have trouble breathing. Suddenly something hard struck me in the forehead. I blacked out. When I woke up, I realized I was in a hospital. I couldn't move at all. My entire body had been wrapped up like a mummy. The nurse told me that a team of road repair workers had found me. They had broken numerous bones all over my body, but none of my organs had been damaged. It was almost a miracle. A doctor in a white coat came in as soon as the nurse left. He was wearing a mask, so I couldn't see his face. He had a glistening scalpel in his hand. Oh, great. Lovely. I could see a pair of cold yet crazy eyes above the mask. Big brother, we're about to start the procedure now. Oh, God. No. No. Why? Well, I have a feeling that this is going to overwrite anything. So, what the hell? I sprinted toward a nearby road with all the strength I had, hoping to stop a taxi. Actually, any vehicle would do. As I was about to step onto the road, I looked back to check where he was one last time. I saw him stop. Beep beep. Deafening sound of a car horn. The screeching of tires rushed toward me from a distance. My body flew off the ground. As I was leaping through the air, I saw the spinning green traffic light out of the corner of my eye. The only thought I had before I completely lost consciousness was, no matter what, you should always check the traffic light. Good boy, Jimmy. Okay, here goes. My heart skipped a few beats. I felt like I had already died. I thought I must be in a wild dream. I'd seen too many movies with a similar plot. The heroine was about to fall off a cliff, and the hero was able to catch her hand at the last moment. We were not the hero and heroine of that kind of movie. Just when I thought this would be my last chance to tell him how I felt, the torrent washed us both off the cliff. Our hands lost hold of each other's grip. We were too far away to hear what we were yelling at each other. I suppose I didn't even deserve this one last chance. I was falling. I kept falling. For it felt like an eternity, my body finally touched the ground. I feel something sticky coming out of my nose and my ears. I looked at him, lying motionless in the distance. He was becoming blurry until everything went dark. So that is when Zhaoren, right? Of course we're going to have Teach coming to save her. It feels horribly cliched that he is just there now, but maybe he was just, if we could it feels horribly cliched that he would just be there now, but maybe he's just there to see the rainbows for this exact reason one last time before he goes away to die. So that I could accept that, if that's the reason why he was there too. Oh boy, we have lots of endings here. Oh, that did not change Jimmy. This has to be S, right? My heart skipped a few beats. I felt like I had already died. I thought I must be in a wild dream. I had seen too many movies with a similar plot. The heroine was about to fall off a cliff, and the hero was able to catch her hand at the last moment. We were not the hero and heroine of that kind of movie. When the rain kept getting stronger, he grabbed a small tree next to the cliff with his left hand. His tiny trunk was shaking more and more violently in the relentless wind. was so scared. I could sense that I wasn't the only one. Finally, a crisp snapping broke the silence between us. Oh, okay. We fell off the cliff, holding on to each other's hands as tight as we could. I was falling, kept falling. To what had felt like an eternity, my body finally touched the ground. Something sticky, dead. At last, at the final moment of my life, I managed to conjure enough courage. Mr. Wang, I love you. Oh, I didn't hear a response. Rain and tears had blurred my eyes, and I couldn't see his face. Whoa. Alright, more endings. I'm not sure how I found the strength, but I stepped forward at the last moment. I could feel my heel just miss the sliding mud. A torrent of mud was falling off the slope by the hilly roadside. Landslide! Mud and soil underneath the masked person suddenly began to move rapidly, as if they had just been awoken by the thunderous explosion in the sky. Awaken, my master! The masked person was sucked into the torrent and swept down the cliff into the distance. The goddess of fortune must have heard my call for help. Lucky me! Just struggling to calm down, I realized a new problem. Where the hell was I? Eventually managed to stop a taxi and get back home, even though I was completely lost. The warm bed and the soft sheets seemed like friends of another lifetime when I got back home. They sucked me in instantly, as if they were a black hole. The only thought I had before I completely lost consciousness was, I shouldn't have gone out. Oh, my heart skipped a few beats. Felt like I had already died. I thought I must be in a wild dream. I'd seen too many movies with a similar plot. The heroine was about to fall off a cliff, and the hero was able to catch her hand at the last moment. Then she would cut his hand with something and say, "Let go of me, or I'll drag you down too." However, I was no heroine. Blood was being washed away by the rain. It flowed onto my hand and dropped onto my face. What? I stuck the pen into the back of his hand! It had been blown away by the heavy wind. This wasn't a movie. I would drag him down. I definitely would. I didn't have the courage to tell him to let go of me. I was such a coward. Hold on! Keep your eyes on me! He held me even tighter. Rain and tears had blurred my eyes. I couldn't see his face. I'm sorry. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of being left alone. Miraculously, he seemed to have heard my thoughts. Don't be scared. I would never leave you alone. Ever. I grabbed a tree next to him, with his left hand, leaned back. The tree was already bending at a dangerous angle. My body was jerked upwards. Whoa! The little tree snapped in half. The same instant he pulled me into his broad chest. He locked me in his strong arms. I felt a warmth that I hadn't felt in a long time. I couldn't think of anything to say. He didn't say anything either. Maybe he did say something, but it was drowned out by the rain and I couldn't hear it. Oh. See, that was alright. I'm okay with that. What? Oh.
幸运女神，你在哪里？
Oh. I mean, I wish I could figure out what the hell was blocking this. Is there something I just fucking missed? Along the way here? I don't know how I feel about it. Oh, these are two separate letters. Oh shit. Alright. The rain kept pouring down, with no sign of stopping anytime soon. I carried Li Wen on my back to the ranger's cabin at the top of the hill. She had already fallen asleep. Due to the danger of a potential landslide, the park rangers had evacuated earlier. I laid her down on the only bed in the cabin and tried to cover her up with some sheets, yet I noticed something strange. I felt her forehead. It was a little too warm. Fortunately for us, there were some medicine and a few bottles of water in the cabinets. I tried to get her to take the pills. She leaned on my shoulder and mumbled half-consciously in her dream. Then I heard her say, "Father." Oh. I walked to the door and sat on the steps while staring at the rain. I had planned to travel to some new place where no one would know me and spend my final days there. I had even asked Yang Ying to watch over this kid on my behalf. I had thought that I could let this all go. That the gods had made me run into her again here. God, haven't you toyed with me enough? When will you stop? Yang Ying had mentioned that Li Wen's father was a painter, that he had passed away due to a heart problem. Okay, so you know. He sounded just like me. Was that why she had been so close to me? If so, what about how I felt about her? Oh no. Ever since she had first come into my life, I'd been paying extra attention to her. First I thought it was just out of curiosity. Lately that feeling seemed to have evolved in some way. When I'd been in the hospital, I would often catch myself thinking about her without realizing it. It doesn't have to be like that. You never had a daughter with your wife before she died. You never had a daughter. I kept telling myself that it would never happen. You never had a child. After all, there had only been one person in my heart. No. No. The first day after I had gotten out of the hospital and gone back to school, I didn't see her in my class because she was giving herself gastritis. During my lectures, I kept losing my thoughts, until I saw her passed out at the back door of the classroom. I had no time to worry about the other people staring at us. I carried her out of the school, but I couldn't get a cab. I had to run all the way to the hospital with her on my back. Jeez. Maybe that was the moment when I started feeling something more. Or maybe it had been even earlier. When our pictures had been posted on the school forum, I had intentionally avoided her. When I walked past her, I knew she was staring at me, and I felt like the most horrible and stupid person in the entire world. So that might have been the moment, but maybe not. It wasn't. No. I shouldn't even be thinking about all this. She and I, it was never going to happen. The night kept getting darker and darker. The rain kept falling. I was still sitting at the doorstep. I felt like I was dissolving into the rain and the night. I suddenly heard someone calling me from behind. She sat herself up on the bed, but looked away the second when she saw my eyes. "Mr. Wen, I've always liked you." Oh no. I stood there, thinking that I must have heard it wrong. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have said it. You're my teacher, and I must have made you very uncomfortable. But, I couldn't hold it in any longer. If I don't tell you, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. I'm sorry, Mr. Wen. I'm so sorry. Her hands were clenching the sheets tightly. I want to be with you. Oh, no. I pushed her. She began crying. What? Ran toward the door. What? Just ran into the evening rain. What? By the time I realized it, I could not see her anymore. Early, after hesitating for what felt like forever, I told her the cruelest thing. I'm sorry. I can't be with you. I remembered her expression when I had pushed her to the ground. I must have thought that I had been disgusted by her. But how could I ever feel that about her? The only person that had been disgusting was me. I was so scared. I had no idea what I would mean to her if I crossed that line. Her lover? Her father? Just a pathetic, dying cancer patient. I held my flashlight and began aimlessly searching for her in the rain. I almost slipped a dozen times. And when I realized that she might have slipped and fallen down, I hated myself even more. Before I knew it, it was daylight. The rain had finally stopped, and the sun had come out. First ray of sunlight broke the clouds, through the clouds and sprinkled upon her body, lying in the valley. She was so calm, so beautiful, so still. She was not even breathing. I held her cold body in my arms. I felt like I had lost the whole world, again, when Zhaoren. I mean, I could have even accepted the Rainbow Mountain, the showing up to save her from falling into the valley. I could have accepted that. This just took any goodwill that letter had left me with and just threw it right out the window. Oh boy. Well, let's just see what the fuck happens. Wait, did I just I couldn't simply ignore her existence any longer. I couldn't ignore my true feelings either. She was so pure, so kind. She was a gift from God. I didn't want to hurt her. I couldn't help myself any what? Whoa! I reached out to her and held her in my arms as tight as I could. I kissed her forehead. I kissed her cheeks. I kissed her oh God! Rain had finally stopped, and the sun had come out. The first ray of sunlight came through the window and fell upon her long, soft hair. I gently kissed her forehead. The rest of my life belonged to you now, and I would live it well for you. I mean... okay... Okay, now what?
如果时间可以重来
Why? Why? God. No charges were pressed from the park rangers. I mean, I guess we gotta finish this. In the subway train, an old blind woman raised a well-worn metal bug to my face. An old man who looked like her husband was helping her from behind with one hand. His other hand was holding a worn-out speaker. It was playing May Happiness Be With You. Beijing had banned solicitation in the subway, but these beggars could still often be seen in the cars. Nobody wanted to be the bad guy or feel guilty, so no one would report them to the authorities. I put $5 into the mug. I usually wouldn't do something like this, but I just wanted them to leave me alone today. Besides the beggars, there were only a few other passengers in the train car. A mother and a son who had just come back from an amusement park. A couple who were laughing while looking at their tablet. A salaryman who apparently had just gotten off work. He was telling his honey on the phone he would have been without him. I felt so envious. I didn't want to go home, because even at home I would still be alone. The car was quiet, except for the occasional chit-chatting, wheels running along the tracks, and the PA system announcing the stops. The next station is Station B. The next station is Station G. Station G is a transfer station. Passengers for another line, please prepare to get off. The next station is Station H. Station H is the transfer station. Passengers for another line, please prepare to get off. The next station is Station P. Wasn't sure how many stations it had been since I'd gotten on the train in Station B near my home. I didn't bring much of anything with me. Perhaps I should just keep going until I reach the final station in the countryside. I had enough money on me to buy another ticket to Tianjin. I could go and watch the ocean there. Last time I had gone was when I was in elementary school. I remembered that. I'd gone with my father that time. Perhaps this time I wouldn't be coming back. Why? I lay down on the chairs next to me and raised my left hand in front of my eyes. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling shone through my fingers as if they were blinking. The ring I had in my ring finger, seemed to be fading out. God, were our fates already determined or not? Was it really something that could be changed? The when. Okay. Well, let's just map. Oh. So B, G, H, and P. B, G, H. Okay, so... Interesting. Well, if we just reverse this, we'll see what the hell happens. I stayed in the subway, changing from one line to another, hesitating. Finally decided to go home. It was already dark when I came out of Station B. It wasn't a highly populated neighborhood. The only reason he and I decided to live here was because the rent was cheaper. The grass was tall near the exit and the street lights were a little dim. I walked down the street and watched my own shadow getting longer and longer. Suddenly another shadow appeared next to mine. For a split second, I fantasized that it was his shadow. Oh, what? A wet cloth to put over my nose and mouth and a very smooth. What the fuck was that? What was that? Okay. Sure. B is home. G and H are transfer stations. Sure, let's see what happens if we get off at a transfer station. My phone just buzzed again. Another complaint for another customer, whining about the quality of my goods. Oh please, what kind of quality did you expect for something that cost you $5? Got off the train at a random station. I'd had enough. I didn't know how to keep living like this. There are very few people in the station. Next train was 5 minutes. Oh no. I stood there on the platform, completely still. 5 minutes. Till the headlights of the train blinded me. I jumped up and landed on the roof. Jesus. And then one thing. Those movie scenes where a person gets hit by a train that flies into the air are all lies. Jesus. God. Okay, so we did this. Okay. So. Station P means we go to the ocean. Station B means we go home and get kidnapped? Question mark? Sure. Let's just get off the train at a random station. Okay. So, P, transfer, home. Well, I finally got home. Went into the apartment carrying a full bag of random goods at the rural shopping mall. The place was a mess. Toys and clothes that I still hadn't sold were everywhere. I washed my face, and then the 2 apples that were in my fridge. They were the only edible things in there. I took a bite from one of them and put the other one in front of a photo of Mr. Wen. "Hey, how have you been?" "I'm doing well." I would say this to his photo every time I came back. Then I would pretend that he had responded and asked about my day. To which I would then reply that I had been doing well, even though it was a total lie. I had the surgery at the same time that I had graduated high school. It was a success at first. However, during my freshman year in pre-med, things took a bad turn. The doctor said that the cancer cells had spread. Without telling him, I took a leave of absence from the school to take care of him, and I started living with him. He was always cheerful at the beginning, assuring me that there were all kinds of new treatments available. I knew he was just trying to make me feel better. I was still watching him getting weaker and weaker and losing the fight day by day. Cancer was a real monster. We were completely powerless against it. On the same day 3 years ago, he was gone and left me all by myself. I had applied to medical school because of him, but I had lost all my will to continue after he passed away, so I dropped out of school and started working. As I didn't have my college diploma, all that I could get was some random part-time jobs. I used the spare time to manage an online shop selling small, cheap goods. My earnings could barely cover my monthly rent. Sometimes I literally couldn't afford meals, and I had to shamelessly go and beg for help from Jing. I'd only recently gotten a job after graduating from college. Sometimes I wondered if there was any point in living like this. The only things that kept me going were these precious memories of mine. I opened the glass doors of my cabinet. A notebook was on my right. With all the text messages between him and me, I had copied them all down into the notebook from my phone. An artist's collection book was right next to the notebook. He once took me to an exhibition for that artist. He took you there, or was that the exhibition that he gave you a ticket to? A photo album was placed to its left. I took the album out. The first photo in the album was the one with us in the coffee shop. That was the only one of us from before we were officially together. And we had taken many, many more after. Oh. There was one with us at the New Year's Eve countdown. One with us at the festivals. One with him cooking. One with him sleeping. One with him going through chemo. One with him pacing in the hospital yard. And the last one with him smiling weakly at the camera. He seemed to have known that it would be the last memory that he could ever leave me with. Timestamp said that it had been taken on March 26th, one day before my birthday. It had been the day before my 20th birthday. Right. How is that a better ending? So it's definitely confirmed that the white marks are better endings. I'm arguing that this is a better ending. Yeah, honestly, that's a better ending. Why? And what is this? Is it really? Well, that's locked down now. Why? It's... You could have... I mean... Why? there was tailor-made practically for some better outcome. Focus on... We didn't hear much from his side, but the focus on her father and her regrets over her father, you could have easily flipped that around from his side and said, my wife, she reminds me of my wife. She could pass for my daughter. And instead of having fucking this at the top of the fucking mountain, they just have a emotional father-daughter moment, and then, hell, she could still move in with him and start taking care of him, but it's entirely familial. She's living with a parent again, just taking care of him now, instead of... They could still go places and make memories together, and take photos, and do all that, but did they have to do that on the mountain? And did they have to fucking subway things in that she got married? Instead, there was a wedding ring. So, they got married. They got together. Did that have to happen? Could we have avoided that with that happening, with them still in, with her still at high school? Did that have to happen? Okay, assuming that he resigned. No, he resigned to go die somewhere alone, away from people. Did this have to end this way? Could we not have had a remarkably similar outcome? Where they had a loving father-daughter relationship, made essentially reconciles with her father by bonding with him and getting him to open up and taking care of him, going to New Year's Day, New Year's countdown with him, going to festivals with him, being the daughter that he never had. He'd be the father that she never got to apologize to or tell that she loved him before he died. And then he dies a lot. He doesn't die alone. Hell, if you take the lovers thing out of the equation, maybe she ends up better off. She doesn't drop out of med school, because obviously she would still be grieving for him, but at least she could let him go, knowing that they had all that goodwill and not ending things, not losing him on that awful note that she lost her own father. But instead we got this. Got this. Out of curiosity, what happens if we do that? No. Everything just dies. If we do that, let's not do that. Even Jimmy gets locked. Oh wait, no. Yeah, this is way back. Okay, yeah, this was the one that I wanted. Swap. Okay, that's still kind of takes everything else out of the equation, but doesn't actually. I don't like it. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's not right. It's not right.